What's up, football fans? Welcome to Controlled Chaos. We've been out of the game for a minute, so today we have an action-packed episode for you guys. Joining me on today's episode, my good friend Kevin Crawford. How you doing today, dude?
I'm extremely hungover, but I'm happy to be here, so let's get this rolling.
You and me both, dude. Let's do it. So in case you haven't heard, the Oakland Raiders will be featured on Hard Knocks this year. And I gotta say, man, I think it's a great fit for Hard Knocks. Who doesn't want to see, John Gruden out there? Am I right? What do you think, Kev?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a good move on HBO and the Raiders for signing that contract. John Gruden's always an interesting personality, but I think this is it's really gonna center around. They're trying to put together this Hollywood team kind of thing. They signed Antonio Brown, which big personality. Derek Carr's still there, so I don't know what's going to go on with him. I think John Gruden hates him. It may look like he likes him, but we're actually going to see what the relationship with the players and John Gruden is like.
Yeah, I mean, you look back on when he was on Hard Knocks with Tampa Bay, and he's walking up and down the field like the sassiest, angriest coach. So I don't know. We'll see 10 years later what Gruden's like.
He's gonna get pissed off at some cameraman. I guarantee it. He's probably gonna punch one in the face or some shit.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. But honestly, man, I still think the Raiders are gonna suck, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna be bad.
I mean, I like their draft picks. They took a lot of defense early on. Besides Josh Jacobs, he was one of their few offensive players they took early in the draft. But man, that defense is still,
Yeah, and this all goes back to I really believe it's not signing Khalil Mack. They don't have a franchise player on defense anymore.
Huge mistake.
Who's their biggest name player on defense? Maybe Arden Key or Gary and Conley or something.
Right, bunch of new guys.
Yeah, and Key's been hurt all the time. But they really needed to sign Khalil Mack. The fact that they let him go is just. It was stupid. Yeah. It was dumb. And I think Gruden is mostly to blame for that because he didn't really talk to him when he got there.
No, yeah, that's what kind of bothers me is, okay, you want to trade him, I disagree with that, but, that's one of your best players. You'd at least want to build some kind of relationship with them.
Yeah. I'm excited to see that defense.
Yeah.
And how Gruden kind of, what he does to, really get them to mesh and really get them rolling because that defense has potential. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of young guys there, but it's just I feel like the coaching has never been where it needs to be for the Raiders defense, and they just have a bunch of guys that fit into different schemes.
Yeah, and I really liked when Jack Del Rio was the coach. I think you're right, the whole Hollywood thing, and that's probably why they hired John Gruden, but I thought Jack Del Rio was a good coach. I thought they were building something after that great season Derek Carr had, MVP season even.
Him getting hurt really kind of
Yeah.
Screwed him over. I think he could have been a great quarterback, but I don't think we're really going to see that anymore. He could bounce back, but let's be real. He's been hurt like every year since he's got like after that injury.
And yeah, even when he's not hurt, he's played a little subpar. But
yeah.
At the same time, man, new coaches, other players getting hurt, loses Amari Cooper, loses Michael Crabtree. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm glad Hard Knocks chose the Raiders because we're going to, like, I haven't really agreed with anything they've done since the beginning of last year. I didn't agree with the Gruden signing. Well, I like Gruden, but they gave him $100 million for 10 years, and he's been out of coaching for 10 years.
Right.
It's that Hollywood
thing,
kind of thing that they're doing. They're moving to Vegas. They want big personalities. They want this team. I feel like it's more about the money for the owner at this point.
Which is just preposterous. I mean, you're chasing championships, not... I mean, everyone wants fans in the seats, but...
Yeah.
It's a waste of money if, you're not winning.
I don't really get the point behind that, but, I mean, some owners are just about the cash inflow and just making a quick buck. They don't really care about the players. They're not as involved as they should be. And that's why I'm so grateful we have Bisciotti. He's a great owner for the Ravens.
Yeah, I agree. Got to be personable with these guys.
Yeah. But all in all, I'm looking forward to Hard Knocks with the Raiders.
Yeah, definitely. All right, on to our next topic. A couple weeks ago, Gerald McCoy decided to sign with the Carolina Panthers on a 1-year, $8.4 million deal. You know, a few weeks ago, we were unsure if he was going to sign with the Ravens or the Browns, and then out of nowhere, he just has a deal with the Carolina Panthers, one of his former rivals in Tampa Bay. So, Kev, what were your first thoughts when you saw this go down as a Ravens fan?
As a Ravens fan, I was a little upset because I would have liked to see him in purple because our defensive line would have been pretty fucking solid.
No doubt, yeah.
Honestly. But good move by the Panthers. He probably, when he visited there, liked that organization a little bit better. And when I heard that his visit was 2 days in Baltimore, I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
I was like, we got him. But it's whatever. But he was at the Browns and then us and then the Panthers. And it was really a toss-up for him because I don't think he made any statements really on what his feelings were, but the teams came out and said, like, oh, the meeting was great, blah, blah, blah. But why would you say the meeting was bad, even if it was?
Yeah, right. You never...
Yeah, you never know. So, I mean, it wasn't a complete shock to me that he chose the Panthers. I was a little upset. Like I said, I would have liked to see him a Raven. But the contract too is also interesting. I like that they give him incentives, and it's $8.4 million, and it can go up to $10.25 million in like if he makes it to the playoffs, if he gets a certain amount of sacks, like that kind of stuff. I'm super high on the incentive contracts. It really pushes a player to like meet their goals and everything like that. So I think most contracts should be based on incentives because if you shell out all this money for a dude and he doesn't do that well, like you're essentially paying for somebody that's not worth that money.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. Ravens defense would have been, even more badass if we got him. I really thought he was going to sign with Cleveland, though.
I did too.
I mean, he said I visited Cleveland because they're a hot team right now, and sounds like he wants to win a championship. Wasn't going to happen in Tampa Bay. I don't think Tampa Bay is even anywhere near winning a championship at this point.
God,
and now he's playing against a team that he used to play for twice a year, which is pretty exciting, I
always like that.
Yeah.
I always like players staying in the division.
Yeah.
And having, I guess, revenge games, I guess you would say.
Right. 2 revenge games.
Yeah, 2 revenge games a year for him.
Twice the fun.
Jamie's going to have his hands full.
All right, so for our next topic, we're going to talk about our favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens. A lot has gone on in the offseason so far. Took a receiver first overall. We signed Earl Thomas, Mark Ingram. There are reports that, we're going to try to tailor the offense toward Lamar this season. It didn't look like that was happening for Lamar last year. It seemed like he was running a little too often. Ravens fans were getting worried. Football fans were getting worried because, Lamar is a exceptional talent. No one wants to see a guy like that get hurt. And, we just have a lot to talk about our team. So, Kev, you want to lead this off?
Yeah, I'll start with the big name signings with Earl Thomas and Mark Ingram. We lost Eric Weddle, so that's honestly a lot of people don't realize how big of a hit that is to our defense because he's that veteran presence.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yep.
So I think bringing in another veteran safety who's kind of a field general like Earl Thomas is can really spike that defense and bring it back to the form that we were in last year, 2 years ago. And that's what I was worried about was losing those crucial parts on defense. But bringing in Earl Thomas is really good. And now he's playing next to Tony Jefferson, who's going to be able to actually play how he's supposed to. He's really good at run support. He's good at stopping the run and doing that. I think Tony Jefferson could play linebacker. I think he's big enough. He has the talent. I would be interested to see if they put him kind of closer to the line of scrimmage and run some sort of 3 linebacker package with Onwuasor and Kenny Young in the middle, and then Jefferson kind of towards the outside, like kind of playing like a nickel role. But I don't know that's Tavon Young's spot really. But Tony Jefferson coming up and doing the run support, that's gonna be a different change that we needed, or a new change. We needed that. And then Mark Ingram was also a great signing because we lost Collins to the old marijuana monster. But Gus Edwards is good, and I think Mark Ingram and Gus are going to be a pretty good double-headed snake in the backfield.
Yeah, you made some really good points there. That was my favorite part about Eric Weddle. All season, you're hearing people, down-talking him. He can't tackle. He's not fast enough. And a lot of that was true, but the best part about him was his leadership qualities. I think Ed Reed had some of that when he was here. but he did tail off, and it was time. I think it was time.
It was.
I wanted him to come back as a coach, but,
That could still happen. That could still happen later
who
on
knows?
when he retires. I think, you hear about some of these players and they just leave their organization and don't look back, but that's what I really love about Baltimore is that mentality that the players have when they leave. They're like, once a Raven, always a Raven, and that I love that because we brought Weddle in and we were like, I was thinking, oh, he's only going to be here for like 2 or 3 years and then he's just going to go back and be a Charger, but he loved it here.
Yeah.
And him and Tony Jefferson are like best friends now, and I think that mentality to have as a franchise is really important. Really important.
I mean, honestly, we're probably like the biggest franchise for picking up like dudes who are kind of past their prime but still have a little bit of gas in the tank.
Yeah.
Like probably the best organization
at doing that,
picking those guys out.
Which is just funny because we capitalize on what other people don't really see, I guess. Like Steve, when we signed Steve Smith that one season, he had I think two seasons over 1,000 yards.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I remember that Cincinnati game in 2015 where him and AJ Green were just going back and forth.
I love
one
that.
finished with like 200 yards. Steve Smith finished with like 180 or 190. It's ridiculous.
It's not as impressive for AJ Green because he always tears us up anyway.
Yeah.
He always gets like he either doesn't play us or he gets 200 yards a game and 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Red Ryder BB gun slinging dimes to him. He's so fast. But yeah, all in all, that I love when we go out and we sign those veterans because that also brings more to the table. I was glad to hear that Pernell McPhee came back. And even though he didn't pan out like he should have when he signed a deal over like $40 million with the Colts. And he was not worth that money.
No.
So I think he comes back in and he already knows some of the coaches and he's used to
huge. That's huge.
And he's used to our I guess the Raven mentality. He knows that. He probably really wanted to come back, honestly, and I was glad he did. Shane Ray signing was also pretty big, I think. He's still young.
It's interesting. I don't know if I'd call it big yet. But it has potential.
It has potential. But I really liked them bringing him in because he still has, if he can stay healthy, he's got a lot of gas in the tank. He's only 25.
Yeah.
He's young.
First round pick.
Yeah, first round pick out of Mizzou. He was an absolute beast there. But that was a good signing. Losing John Brown kind of hurt me a little bit. I wish we could have kept him.
Yeah. But I feel like we got a way better version of him in Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, we lost him before we got Hollywood, so I was like, shit, Willie Snead's our best wide receiver. Like, no team wins Super Bowls like that.
Right, yeah.
But, Willie Snead's going to be a crucial part to this offense now, honestly.
Yeah, I still think, we're going to hug the tight ends and the running backs.
Oh, yeah.
At least to start out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Willie Snead here and there, he was pretty reliable most games last season. So we'll see if his role expands or diminishes in any way.
And I think we kind of need to ease Lamar in because I don't think he comes out week one throwing rockets, dropping dimes and stuff like that. So just kind of play around with him, see what he can and can't do, and I think it's kind of going to be an adjustment period. Like that's what the preseason's for.
Yeah.
But I think having good running backs and probably the best tight end trio in the NFL. I don't know if we could say that yet. We have to see what they do this year, but there's a lot of potential with Hurst and Andrews catching the ball, and because we have the best of all of it. Nick Boyle is probably the best run blocking tight end in the NFL, and then we have Hayden Hurst, he needs to stay healthy. We found out that he had that screw put into his foot, and that was just kind of bothering him all season. I think he bounces back, and he put on 20 pounds of muscle, so I'm excited to that. But he's good at run blocking, and he's good at receiving. He's kind of like a mix between both. And then we have Mark Andrews, who's an absolute stud at running routes and catching balls.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised by him, honestly. I didn't think he was going to be that good, but he's doing it.
Yeah, became the premier tight end very quickly. A lot to look forward to on the Ravens, especially Lamar Jackson and guys like Mark Ingram and Earl Thomas. I think like I was saying earlier about veterans, bringing them in, and they still have gas in the tank. I have no doubt Mark Ingram in that backfield and Earl Thomas in that secondary will have at least a decent season and at least bring, that veteran mentality, leadership, whatever that may be.
Ingram's going to get the ball a lot in this offense.
Yeah.
Because Lamar's kind of still unproven at this point, and he's still... Right. I mean, you see the reports from the Ravens, how he's increased his accuracy, his power, and all that stuff, and he was working with this quarterbacks coach all offseason in Florida. And you look at some of the videos that they post, and some of his passes look really good. Like, they're spot on. He's dropping dimes. It's a tight spiral. And then you see other passes, and it's like tossing up a clay pigeon for someone to shoot with a shotgun. It's just flopping the fuck around everywhere. And that's a little disappointing that he hasn't found that consistency. I mean, he's only second year. He's only played 7-8 games, if you count the playoffs.
Right.
And
so not a full
season. So people are so quick to out Lamar and say, he sucks, whatever, he's shit.
It's a lack of patience.
Yeah, you can't have a quarterback come in like Patrick Mahomes didn't have an MVP season like that. I don't think it was a fluke, but that is so rare to happen. A second-year quarterback like that just absolutely balling out. So, but Lamar needs to kind of find that consistency, and I think what he really needs to improve on is decision-making, because you saw some of the time last season when he was getting rushed in the pocket, he would just drop the ball.
Yeah, and ball security. Yeah.
And they said he's not going to be running as much, which I'm pretty relieved about that. Yeah. I mean, he's still going to run. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to not use his legs. The dude's the fastest quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
So, but throwing, he needs to find that consistency. He needs to tighten up that spiral, and he needs to start working on the deep ball.
And we all know all of that's there. You just gotta, like you said,
you gotta keep working with him. You gotta keep working with him.
You can see the talent, but yeah, I have no doubt he'll eventually figure it out. But he's gotta just put the work in this whole offseason, really prepare. The only way he's gonna get there.
Yeah, no, I mean the hype train's real, but I don't know. We'll see how he kind of adjusts, and he lost some offensive parts, but he got some new ones, and I think him and Hollywood are gonna be pretty good together. We needed that playmaker that Hollywood is. So I was really happy about that draft. I mean, I liked Metcalf, but let's be real, the dude knows how to run one way, and it's straight. And he struggled with his hands in college too. We don't need another Brashad Perriman.
Yeah, right.
God, that dude really. I bought his jersey.
Tell him how you feel.
Like I said that other episode, Jason Pierre-Paul has better hands than him. Like, dude's missing, 17 fingers.
Hey, he had a good season on the Browns this year, man. Can't forget about that.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say a good season.
It wasn't a good season.
Good end of the season.
Yeah. And, I mean, the whole time I was saying, where the fuck was that?
Right.
Like, you couldn't have done that in Baltimore for maybe 1 year.
No, he did do it in Baltimore, just in a Cleveland jersey.
Yeah, right. This is ridiculous. But I wasn't surprised he requested a trade either. After they bought in Odell, he was like, get me the fuck out of here. He's like, I'm not going to play. What did you think about Michael Pierce getting sent home?
I was just about to ask you the same thing. I like that our coaching staff can call out a guy like Michael Pierce and, just tell him to go home. You're not prepared. We don't care who you are. If you're not coming to play ball the way we expect you to show up for work, we don't want you here. And so I respect it. You hate to see something like that happen to your team and a guy like that, but
a key player. Yeah.
But glad the coaching staff was straight up with him.
Yeah, I don't think it was out of really spite to him, I guess.
All right, so in case you haven't heard, Michael Pierce, he got sent home for being out of shape. We just wanted to clear that.
Yeah. He's pretty fat now. I mean, he's always been a husky guy, but he got sent home. And I think it was more of Harbaugh using him as an example to the team. I don't think it was because you never want to send a guy home. You're like, get in the weight room, fat ass.
Yeah.
Start running or some shit. But they sent him home. I think it was Harbaugh using him as an example and just saying, like you said, we don't care who you are. you're paid to do this, to be in shape, to be here, to be ready. If you're not, get out.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Come back better or don't come back.
Yeah. And like you said, it sucks losing a defensive player like that, and he's pretty crucial to our line, and he's in a contract year too. Don't forget about that. He got sent home for being out of shape, and he's in a contract year.
That's just sloppy, man.
It's more disappointing.
Yeah.
It's more disappointing.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Yeah. I'm not mad at you, Michael Pierce. I'm disappointed in you. Fat shit.
Anything else you want to say on the Ravens?
No, I think we pretty much
Okay.
covered everything there.
Yeah, I think we did.
Lamar needs to stop throwing ducks, but that's it.
He'll work on it.
Yeah, he will. All right, let's start talking about some of this front office drama. What do you think about the Texans trying to become the new Patriots?
Flat out embarrassment, dude. I mean, low-key, maybe not even low-key, every team wants to be the Patriots.
Yeah.
Flat out. Same as the NBA. Everyone wants to be the Golden State Warriors. It's a copycat league in every professional sport. I can at least say that for basketball and football. But, yes, very copycat-like. And, I can't really blame the Texans, but, they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, dude. Like, this was...
Yeah, they did. Cat's out of the bag.
I mean, the guy... New England literally tried to put tampering charges on the Houston Texans.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, you want to make fun of New England for all their, cheating bullshit and whatever. And, now you see...
Okay, yeah, but let's be real.
No, I'm not saying you personally. I'm just saying...
No. But let's be real. New England tried to put charges on them. Dude, it's embarrassing enough to go after one of their executives and try and poach him. But when you try to put charges on somebody and you've gotten caught cheating, recording practices, deflating balls numerous times, you really want to slap someone with charges, just let them die from their own wounds. Don't put salt in it.
I think that was, them trying to scare them and scare the rest of the league. Don't fuck with us. Don't try to be like us. And if you do, we're going to air you out. And they aired them out.
Oh, everybody aired them out. I think everybody's got a hot take on this. The Texans are probably trending right now.
So I'm going to give you a three-choice question here.
Okay.
What was more embarrassing, you think? Atlanta pumping crowd noise into the stadium, Cleveland Browns texting during games, or this bullshit?
Honestly, it's the pumping crowd noise.
Yeah, I'm going with Atlanta, too.
Okay, how do you get caught for that? How do you get... There must have been nobody in there. Must have been absolutely nobody in there. And then some team had to be like, what the hell is going on? Why does it sound like there's a million people in here and I can see 4 guys in the stand? That's flat out embarrassing. The Texans saying, I mean, you want to be like the Patriots. It is kind of embarrassing. But when you have to pump crowd noise into your stadium, dude.
Yeah, that's
chill.
That's pretty sad.
Just chill. But... I have this statement from...
Yeah, go ahead, read that.
Yeah, it's from Cal McNair. It's the Texans CEO. And basically what happened here is the Texans were trying to get Nick Ciamarra, who's an executive at the Patriots, and they were trying to poach him and get him to come over because they have an EVP or a GM spot available. And there's terms in his contract that say that he can't even be talked to or approached by other teams. So just listen to this statement. This is CEO Cal McNair for the Texans. When we started the process to interview Nick Ciamarra for our EVP GM position, we consulted the league office on numerous occasions, followed the procedures outlined in the league's rules, and believed we were in full compliance. Wrong. We have now been made aware of certain terms in Nick's contract with the Patriots. Once we were made aware of these contract terms, I informed Mr. Kraft that we would stop pursuing Nick. So, what do you think about that?
I think that's just more fuel to this embarrassing fire, dude. I mean,
you got a trash can outside on fire burning paper. You're just dumping fucking lighter fluid into it.
Essentially.
Just add more to the burn barrel, dude. That's them. That statement is them trying to hide their own ass.
Yeah.
And honestly, GM right now that's a hard position to fill. There's other teams going through that too, but you obviously want somebody from a good team. So I can't blame them for going after him and not really understanding his contract terms because, I mean, you do need to do your homework. You need to look into that kind of shit before you do that. But like you said, they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and now they're just trying to camouflage it.
And it's not the first time the Texans have gone after New England coaches. I mean, you got Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. He's a Belichick prodigy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Browns coach from a couple years ago, I can't think of his name right now. He's Texans defensive coordinator. I think he coached with Arizona for a little bit too.
So they're just it's not. No, it's not. Okay. They're just trying to poach from, I guess, coaches that have worked with Belichick before. Basically, I'm kind of confused as to like what's really going on with the Texans, and I think that the Texans just need to stay quiet for now. I don't think they should be reaching out to other people. Have an interim come in for a little bit, I guess. Kind of like I don't know. I don't even know. Like just have somebody there until you can find it and keep that search quiet because they're on full blast right now. They're trending. Like it's honestly ridiculous that the Patriots try to put tampering charges on this, but I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't say what's truly going on, but they got caught.
Yeah, pretty embarrassing stuff.
And I mean, it's not like I mean, every team needs a GM, don't get me wrong, but O'Brien has a handle on his team, I feel like, and the Texans are good. They have a solid defense, and they have Deshaun Watson, who's going to be their franchise quarterback, obviously.
For
they
sure.
got DeAndre Hopkins. It's a good team, a lot of talent. So, I mean, I'm not too worried if they don't fill that GM spot immediately, but they need to stop poaching from the Belichick tree.
Team just doesn't know how to win in the playoffs, man. They get there and
they choke.
They look like they don't belong artists. Ever.
It's honestly kind of embarrassing.
You know, Andrew Luck and the Colts just walk through them. I think they get one touchdown.
Yes, but I do always enjoy seeing the Colts make it because they're actually a good playoff team.
Yeah, they were a good team.
They flipped the switch.
But when their game plan went south, they had no answer, no adjustments, no nothing. And, you know, we keep seeing that year in and year out. They're good enough to make the playoffs, but they fall flat on their face every year.
I think a lot of that has to do more with they have one style of play, and that's really Deshaun Watson throwing the ball. They don't run that much. And their line is kind of trash.
I mean, ever since they lost Arian Foster, they've had to take a step back from running.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamar Miller's decent, but, you know, he's not Arian Foster.
But they went, in the first round, they went with a tackle from Alabama State. And then in the second round, they took a corner, which they kind of need another corner. They have Tyrann Mathieu back there. And, I mean, yeah, he's good, but you can't win with one good dude in your secondary.
And, even him, he was kind of shaky last season.
He's not what he was on the Cardinals.
Yeah,
but I don't know. We'll see this year. And they took another tackle in the second round as well. So they're really trying to protect Deshaun Watson at this point. I think they need to do that. It's not a pretty pick. Nobody likes seeing tackles taken off the board that early. But you need to do that.
You do what you gotta do.
You need to do that. We're best player available. Whatever hole you need to fill, that's what you do. I'm very surprised that they have not given Clowney an extension yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, especially as often as J.J. Watt's hurt these days.
Yeah.
He's the leader of that defense for sure.
I think they need to get Watt out of there and keep Clowney for a while. I'm not saying cut him, but just don't re-sign Watt and make sure Clowney's there for the long term.
Yeah, that's who you want to build around for sure.
Yeah, you don't want to build around J.J. Watt, who's missing a knee. Like,
as good as he is, man.
Yeah, he's great, and he's Pro Bowl, but
yeah,
like,
what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, it's not for long, long league.
Really, I think honestly, Bill O'Brien needs to get fired. I think they need a new.
They need
coach,
an entire new office.
I don't know about that. After this bullshit, you know, who knows what they need? But
I mean, their owner's trying to trying to like he's facing tampering charges after calling this guy, be like, hey dude, we need you, come on over, and he's
right.
like, hold on a second, need to tell some people about this. Whoever leaked this is an asshole, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, do anything for clout, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know, but like I was saying, GM's kind of hard to fill right now, and I get the Jets were really struggling with that too. The Jets interviewed what, like 20 people,
and they pick Adam Gase, dude. My least favorite franchise in the NFL. Let me just be clear real quick. It's the Miami Dolphins. Nothing great has ever. I mean, Ricky Williams, Dan Marino, Jarvis Landry was cool. Jason Taylor. But, yeah, a whole lot of talent.
Where are they now? Where are those guys now, Nick? Ricky Williams is getting high every day. Jarvis Landry's finally with a good team in Cleveland. Jason Taylor, yeah, he was good, but...
Exactly my point, man. They got good players, but the Dolphins are about as mediocre as it gets. And you take Adam Gase, who contributed just about nothing from a fan standpoint, and the Jets, more mediocre, pretty much.
Dude, the Dolphins are a stepladder for teams. I
just don't get it.
They're a stepladder for teams in that division. Like, we're playing the Dolphins. Let's get fucking drunk. Like the night before, like nobody cares. The Dolphins suck. We've been to a game there. You remember how lame the fans were?
Oh, dude.
Dude, it was terrible.
Ravens dominated that tailgate.
Dude, yeah. But I mean, like, they don't have a fan base. They don't have an office. And they get players that it just seems like they come in there. And, like, Jarvis Landry was doing amazing because he was really the only one going out there, like, let's fucking win, like, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And you saw him getting rid of that mentality in Cleveland, like, when they did Hard Knocks last year. But... Dude, I just don't get it with the Dolphins. I honestly think that team needs to move.
Possibly, man. Hard. It's gonna be hard to move out of Miami, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be no team's moving out of Miami, but they need something. The Dolphins aren't gonna be good for like the next 30 years if they keep it at this rate. The only time they're ever gonna have a chance at the postseason is if Bill Belichick leaves the Patriots and goes to the Dolphins.
The Jets, the Bills, the Dolphins, man, they cannot wait for that New England dynasty to just crumble. And
I think the Jets and the Bills they're showing promise. I think they got two young quarterbacks that are both good, and they're building franchises right now. I think they start to compete with the Patriots a little bit. I don't think they really give them a run for their money this year, but I think within the next 2-3 seasons that the Jets and the Bills are contenders because the Bills' defense is good.
Yeah,
their defense is really good.
Absolutely.
But the Dolphins are just a piece of shit. Like,
yeah, you can look at the Jets and the Bills and see like at least somewhat of a progression. And yeah, I just don't see that with the Dolphins. And now they just traded for the hell's his name?
Who, the Jets? The Jets or the Dolphins?
No, the Dolphins quarterback came from Arizona.
Oh, Rosen?
Yeah, Josh Rosen. Who could turn out to be good, but...
No, dude. Dude,
I'm not counted out
Rosen's
yet.
A dumpster fire. Dude, they said... I was looking at Instagram the other day, and this dude I follow, he posts, like, shit before everybody else does. And I was reading on the Dolphins this offseason. They said Ryan Fitzpatrick is the favorite to start. Ryan Fitzmagic, dude. Fitzmagic's real.
Well, you got Fitzmagic, Brocktober, and Josh Rosen.
3 very threatening quarterbacks in Miami there. Very threatening. I would be so scared to play that team. Thank God they're not in our division. We don't have to play them twice a year.
You know what we need to do?
What?
Just start a podcast shitting in the Dolphins.
I think that would get a lot of views, dude.
Have all of Boston.
But we'd have a bunch of massholes listening to us. Like, I couldn't do that. But I think the Jets will be good. The Darnold's. I think this is really the year for Darnold. I think he's poised for a breakout season.
Yeah,
because he looks good, and I mean, they don't really have like receivers. Like, I can't really.
Robbie Anderson
is okay.
Stays out of trouble. Gets a little more consistent.
But I mean, when you have your wide receiver 1 returning kicks. Like, dude, could you imagine if the Texans put fucking DeAndre Hopkins back there, take kicks out of the end zone?
I mean, Pittsburgh did it with Antonio Brown.
Yeah, but it's Antonio Brown, man. He can do whatever he wants. I don't care. He's that good. But, I mean, Robbie Anderson is your best wide receiver, and he's returning punts and kicks for you.
Beckham did that too. I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, like...
But how often did Beckham do that? Because they had, oh, God, what's that dude's name? The cinnamon stick dude.
Dwayne Harris.
Yeah.
Cinnamon stick.
Cinnamon.
He did look like him.
Dude, he really does. Every time he got the ball, it's like he's running away from the apple.
So, yeah, the Jets, I think they're definitely progressing. Don't like the Adam Gase hiring, but, you know.
They did do very good in the draft.
Yeah.
They did very well in the
Quentin
draft.
Williams, nice pick.
They made some really good signs with Mosley and Le'Veon Bell. That was good. I mean, they're two great players, but they overpaid for Mosley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Overpaid.
Absolutely.
No linebacker in the NFL, I don't care who it is worth $17 million a year.
And the only guy is Khalil Mack. But, yeah, even then it's probably a little much.
He's not even he's the only player to go to the Pro Bowl for two different positions. That's pretty insane.
Yeah. But, I mean, you got a market like New York, they're going to pay.
Yeah. And, I mean, like, they're bringing in big-name players like C.J. Mosley and Le'Veon Bell. I think Le'Veon Bell's going to do this year. Unfortunately, when I had him on my fantasy team last year, he toxic environment. He was in Miami slapping ass in the strip club.
Yeah.
Fucking titties in his face, and he should be getting me fantasy points, but sitting on my bench all goddamn season. That dude's a fuck. But I don't know, whatever. I think he's gonna do really well for the Jets, which is kind of disappointing. I traded him though. I got McCaffrey out of that trade, so I think I'm gonna end up keeping him in our league.
Yeah, that would definitely be the smart decision there.
Dude, it's ridiculous. I have the best team on paper every goddamn year, and then it's either riddled with injuries or some player just decides to get suspended or just not play. Like Dalvin Cook, I think I'm gonna tear my ACL tomorrow. Whatever.
Can't win them all, brother.
No, you can't. I can't. I definitely can't.
All right, enough of that noise. Let's talk about the Cleveland Browns.
Brownies. Love it. Love it. Love the Brownies.
So you were just telling me about Baker Mayfield and Duke Johnson. What was going on there?
Yeah, he made a comment about Duke Johnson's contract, about like his how much
to the media, or was it?
Yeah, it was press.
Okay.
And I think it kind of got out, and then some of the teammates, well, he was explaining how, or not explaining, but he was saying how, like, he was telling Duke Johnson what to do, basically, and, like, saying, but indirectly. He wasn't saying it to him. He was saying it indirectly about his money. And some of the players heard that, the older guys, and they were in the locker room, and they confronted Baker, and they were like, dude, you don't say that shit.
Right.
That's a man's money. You don't mess with that. And I think that was probably kind of like, I mean, Baker's still young. He's still got a lot to learn, but it was a good thing that they did that, and Baker's kind of got, like, I don't know. I like Baker's mentality. He's there to win, and he still has a lot to learn because he does kind of strike me as immature. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, still a little bit. It still feels like he has that college mentality a little bit, but
I'd say on the field, I think he's about as good as it gets.
Yes, yes. I have to agree with you there.
I'm not talking talent. I'm talking
mentality.
the way he conducts himself and all that.
Yes.
It's a little off-the-field stuff. And, I don't have a problem with it. I could care less, I think. I mean, I love Baker. Not scared to defend his teammates. I don't know if you saw on Twitter when Colin Cowherd was bashing Odell Beckham.
I did see that.
But, yeah, Baker Mayfield, man, you got to like the guy. I mean, you don't gotta like him, obviously, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's a true competitor, and it shows week in and week out.
And being a Ravens fan, I'm scared to play the Brownies.
Calling out Duke Johnson for his money, point is, you don't do that no matter what job. Like, that's, especially to the media, I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's like, I don't know. That's just, you don't do that, from your team, like, your own teammate, like, yeah, I could get it if it was, like, him talking about the deal that Le'Veon Bell needs to make, but Duke Johnson has requested a trade and he wants a new contract, blah, 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 whatever, But when it's your own teammate and you say that indirectly about him,
Yeah, it's
not
pretty
to him,
disrespectful.
yeah. It's just it's something you don't do. But I mean, I'm scared to play them twice a year.
I'm excited, dude. I can't wait to be M&T for that, baby.
I'm scared, but I'm also excited. I've also heard things about how they're kind of off to a slow start. I've heard that they're not really meshing well at first. Like they were just talking about the offense though.
Just the offense.
Yeah,
okay.
just the offense. They said the defense looks good.
I mean, that's gonna take some time. As good as Baker and Odell Beckham
and
are,
it's
gonna
June.
Take some time.
It's
Yeah.
June, so you
Bottom
can't
line.
really listen to all that blah 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 shit
Right.
until you watch them play in the preseason or you see training camp and like that kind of stuff. But I mean, I gotta give it to him, man. Dorsey is an amazing GM. He's making moves. He's getting this franchise out of the fucking dirt and putting them up there.
Yeah.
They're favorites to win North, dude.
Which I think is wrong. I think it's Pittsburgh, but continue.
Yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh's good every year, but I don't know. We'll see how Pittsburgh does losing Bell and Antonio Brown. That's two big guys right there. I mean, they finally got a middle linebacker with Devin Bush, and they really needed that because they were struggling over the middle of the field. They haven't been able to replace Shazier since the horrible injury happened.
Right. Yeah,
But
that was definitely
Devin Bush is raw talent. Like
And they traded up for that pick too.
Yeah.
Traded
They
with Denver.
saw something in him. Trade ups are usually for the last trade up we saw was like the big trade up was for Mahomes. That shocked the world.
Yeah.
That was the last big one. I think this is also going to be a big trade up. I think Devin Bush pans out to be a Pro Bowl linebacker. Early take, but I think he's got it, dude.
In that organization, I've always said this, Pittsburgh and New England, they know how to do it. They know how to run an organization is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Tomlin's a great coach.
I mean, lately, you hear the drama and all that, but still,
that's just the players being
they have
hotheads,
had four
dude.
coaches in their entire franchise. That's incredible.
Yeah, and Tomlin's going to be there for a while.
No, not four. Excuse me. Three coaches.
Cowher, Tomlin,
and the hell's that guy's name? He was way before our time.
Yeah.
Winning 4 Super Bowls,
Yeah.
what Pittsburgh fans love to talk about.
Get your
like
rings
it was
up,
yesterday.
dude. You've been around for like 100 fucking years. Ravens been around for 20 years and we got 2 Super Bowls. That's pretty good. It's pretty good if you ask me.
Hell yeah.
You could be the Bills and lose like 4 in a row, but...
God damn, that's got to be gut-wrenching.
Oh, yeah, dude. You know how pissed we would be? Bills Mafia, though. They shout out to them. They
show up.
They
are
it,
passionate.
They keep it going. I would
like-
love to be a Bills fan. If there was any other team in the NFL that I could be a fan for, 110% Bills. I don't care about... I mean, I care about the winning, obviously, and it'd be cool to be, like if the Ravens were like New England and they won the Super Bowl every other goddamn year. Like, hell yeah, that's awesome. But any other fan base I want to be a part of, Bills, 110%.
Bills.
Definitely Bills. They're crazy, dude. They're all psychopaths. Light themselves
Just for
on
the
fire.
tailgate, right?
Light
Just
themselves
for the
on fire, jumping on tables. And they're probably not even going into the game.
Do you remember when their I don't know, stadium or the NFL, I don't know who, maybe it was just Goodell's stupid ass, who said, you can't bring tables to... You can't break... I don't know what they said.
Yeah, to the tailgates,
You couldn't break tables at the tailgates, and they still continue to do it anyway.
Nobody takes him seriously. Fuck Goodell.
I don't know if it was Goodell, though. But the fact that the
Okay,
league
well,
had
even if he didn't say it, he told somebody to come forward and
I
say
just
it.
think it's incredible that the league had to come out and say, stop breaking fucking tables. You're scaring people.
Could you imagine bringing your fucking kids to that tailgate?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Dude, no. They would see some shit. I remember when I went to a Ravens tailgate once, and I was pretty little, and I was playing football with some Browns fans, and these kids were probably like 18, 19. This drunk-ass Raven fan stumbles out of the porta potty, and he's got his pants around his ankles, and he sees the Browns fans, and he turns around, and he starts slapping his ass. He's like, fuck the Browns. I'm like, I'm probably like 10 years old. 10 or 11 years old, and I'm seeing this shit. The dude's hanging brain. Like, he's got his dick out, and his ball's just hanging there, and he's slapping his ass, and these kids aren't even that old either. They were probably 18, 19. I mean...
Oh, my God.
I mean, yeah, it's old enough, but...
But I think that's anywhere, dude.
Yeah.
You got 70,000 grown-ass men.
Eagles would also be an awesome fan base to be a part of.
Cleveland would be pretty great.
Yeah. And I'm pretty high on Cleveland. I have high expectations for them.
Yeah.
I think if they can, it's really about, like, they have the pieces to finish the puzzle. It's how they put them together. You know what I mean? Because they're going to be, if they can click and get things right, that's pure talent up there. That's a Super Bowl team.
We're going to see. We'll find out.
I think they, I'm not saying that they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
They're going to win. But there's enough talent there, and the front office is good enough to really dig in and make this a franchise for a while. And I think we see them in the Super Bowl sometime soon, within the next 5 to 6 years, if they can keep everybody, because their cap room's going to be like probably fucked in 5 years, 6 years, after signing all these guys. I mean, I think they still have over $20 million left. They still have over $20 million in cap left.
2 words: playoff experience.
Yes.
Think about that.
Baker's got playoff experience just in college.
Yeah,
which is it's a different environment.
Not the same thing.
Yeah, it's not the same thing, but
definitely something to consider.
Yeah,
though.
definitely something to look at and be like, okay, he's done it. He's pretty good. He's played some of the best in college and he's gotten through it. He's lost. He knows what that feels like. It's important to know. It's important to know what losing feels like in the playoffs. Who knows? He could be great, but
yeah, it's a lot of
there's a lot of ifs. A lot of ifs in Cleveland.
All right, so to end this episode, we're going to transition into a little bit of fantasy talk here, but we're going to talk about the rookies. So me and Kev, we assembled our own fantasy starting lineup, if you will, consisting of rookies. We got a quarterback position, 2 running back positions, 2 wide receiver positions, a tight end position, and a defensive player who we think is going to do well for their team. And, you know, to help all you weirdos who play defense.
What type of person do you have to be to play with a defensive player on your fantasy team? That is, what are you going to get?
No, not only one, but multiple.
What are you going to get points for tackles? Do you get points for, how does that even work? Like, what? Like, you get points for interceptions? Like, oh shit, J.J. Watt's going to get an interception this week. I'm going to put him in my starting lineup. That has to be could you imagine losing to that? Like losing, but let's say you lose by a point because J.J. Watt got 1 extra tackle.
Right.
Like in garbage time.
God damn. So we're here to help those people too. Briefly.
Yeah.
So Kev, how about you start it off? Who is your number 1 quarterback?
I had to take Kyler Murray.
As if I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm asking that question.
The Cardinals took him first round. He's first pick. He's from Oklahoma. Most of you guys probably know that. He did great there. Kind of coming out of college, like, I would compare him to Manziel. I don't think he's going to end up like Cokehead Manziel.
In what way do you mean?
I think his scrambling ability and his arm strength, like, Manziel had great arm strength coming out of college, and their size is kind of the same. And Kyler Murray's, he's probably, dude, let's be real, he's not 5'9". This dude's probably 5'8", 5'7". You ever seen him standing next to a tackle?
I'm going to go solid.
Dude,
solid 5'8".
He looks like, you remember when they used to let all the kids out on the playground sometimes? Like, the kindergartners would be out there with the 5th graders. You got that one abnormally tall 5th grader standing next to the shortest kindergartner. That's what Kyler Murray looks like that. Like, like out there.
Damn.
I mean, love Kyler Murray. He's a great dude, but
yeah, he's a short dude.
Yeah, he's a short dude. But yeah, his scrambling ability is really good, and I think the Cardinals brought in Cliff Kingsbury. So
yeah,
that's going to be interesting to see how that kind of pans out. And he's huge on Kyler Murray. Obviously, they took him round 1, pick 1. So
yeah. He was like out in the media saying that, you know, we're taking Kyler Murray.
Kingsbury
we got one. We're taking him.
I liked that.
Well before the draft.
I liked that.
Yeah.
I thought that's a bold move on Kingsbury.
And then to actually do it, you know, people, I'm sure, I mean, I was kind of calling his bluff a little bit. Not necessarily calling the bluff, but like, are you really that sure? We're here like 3 months before the draft, and you already, you know, are giving away your first pick. Dude
tears his ACL like 2 weeks later running a pro day or some shit.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, we're not taking him anymore. I lied. But I think Murray fits right into that offense, like his West Coast offense, because he was from Texas Tech. So I think they've kind of like surrounded Murray with like that kind of offense. They have the speedy guys in the middle, wide receiver, and then they got the go up and get it guys on the outside. Because Murray liked that drag route with Marquise Brown, and that because Brown was a playmaker, so why not just dump a drag off and let him just run for 60 yards? Right. So I think he fits in well with Kingsbury's offense, and they did pretty well in the draft. They got him, and then they got did they get Paris Campbell or Hakeem Butler? I think it was Hakeem Butler.
Yeah, I think Hakeem Butler.
Yeah, it was one of those two guys, but that's going to be good. He's going to go on the outside with Fitz, and they still have Christian Kirk, who's a speedy guy. Yep. That's gonna be a lot bigger than people think, having him and Murray working together. And if David Johnson stays healthy, that's going to be...
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's going to be a lights-out offense. I'm excited for that. And then, I guess to kind of finish it off, I think Kyler will probably throw for around, 3,300 yards. This is bold. 3,300 yards, 26 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and he runs for 600 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Okay. I mean,
he's starting day one, so he has time. He's time to develop, and I think
some good weapons, some really good weapons. Looks like Larry's still got gas in the tank.
Yeah, I think he'll be there. Well, who knows? Because if Murray kind of pans out a little bit, maybe Larry will stay a little bit longer. I want to say he's done after this year.
The fact that he stayed up until this point,
it's
just
awesome guy,
loyal as hell,
awesome guy. I'd love to have him on any team.
Yeah.
Any team. But, yeah, he's super loyal. But I'd look to grab Kyler probably. I feel like he's going to be kind of targeted. We were talking about this earlier. I feel like he's going to be kind of targeted. And you probably get him in the 7th or 8th round, somewhere around there. Because he's a running quarterback, and people in fantasy love running quarterbacks. That's extra points. I don't think by any means he should be anybody's QB1 starting off your fantasy season. But
no, definitely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, 9th, 10th round pick.
So somewhere in there.
Maybe a little bit sooner.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it.
A little bit sooner.
People
Fuck me.
Punny, dude. Fucking asshole. But you have Murray as well, don't you?
Nah, dude. Believe it or not. I can't even say a joke. I was going to say Daniel Jones, but, no one's believing that.
He looks like he came straight out of the Manning family.
I know, they look like twins.
They look like twins. They play the same way. Who knows? Maybe Daniel Jones stays there for 8 years, just absolutely subpar, and gets 2 Super Bowl rings when they play the Patriots. He's going to end up
you never
just
know,
like
man.
Eli.
No one saw that coming.
No, nobody saw that coming. They should have got Haskins, man. He would have fit in well with that offense.
Dude, we had this conversation after the Preakness, dude. I don't think... if you remember.
Yeah. I mean, I was trashed, but...
I do not like Dwayne Haskins or any Ohio State quarterback. I just don't see
because they always crumble.
Turning out. I don't see it turning out well.
Yeah.
That's why I, gladly picked Kyler Murray. Not gladly, easily picked Kyler Murray for this segment. And you checked off a lot of the points I was going to make.
Hit the nail on the head.
Great receivers, great arm. Some really great deep balls.
Yeah, that's very surprising for a guy that's 5'8".
Yeah, and throwing to a speed demon like Hollywood Brown, having to hit that target, that's not easy.
And, I mean, we do have to keep in mind, too, because Oklahoma is always that... They've been that pass-first kind of team.
Mm-hmm.
And their offensive line has always been really good.
Yeah.
Always been really good. They got guys going from the 1st to the 3rd round, always. Every year, a lineman from Oklahoma comes off the board that early. And I believe the Ravens grabbed one in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
I believe he's going to probably be Yonda's replacement when he leaves.
Is that Orlando Brown Jr.?
That was last year.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that was last year. We got 2 Oklahoma guards now. We're building a mini Oklahoma squad in Baltimore for those of you that don't follow us.
Not taking from Bama anymore. I mean, we are, but,
we always take from Bama, dude. Who doesn't want to take from Bama?
True.
Yeah.
It's always 10 of those guys in the first round.
So is that it for Kyler? You got anything else for him?
I don't have anything else to say. What about your running back? Your RB1?
The first one I took was Josh Jacobs. and I feel like that was an easy pick too.
Understandably.
Yeah, because the Raiders took him round 1, pick 24. He kind of fits into that offense with that meaty Gruden kind of shit, and he's like
meaty Gruden kind of shit.
That pounding.
Add that to your vocabulary, ladies and gentlemen.
Gruden likes, surprisingly, he kind of likes to run the ball. Marshawn Lynch had a decent year until he got hurt, and I think Josh Jacobs is kind of Lynch's replacement. He's going to learn a little bit from watching him. He's got the same. He was my NFL comparison to Jacobs is Marshawn, and I think Jacobs is a little bit more elusive. Marshawn's more that one-cut power back that's just going to run you over. But yeah, I took Jacobs because he's an Alabama running back, and so his floor is high and his ceiling is high. I think that he's going to take pressure off Derek Carr right away, and Gruden's finally going to start. He runs, but he's going to start running more once he sees what Jacobs can do. And he's got the right personnel around him. Carr's a decent quarterback. We were talking about him earlier. He needs to stay healthy. He's got Antonio Brown there, so he's not going to be carrying the full workload. And I think those keys really kind of help him fit into this Oakland offense. And then I said that he's probably going to rush for 450 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he catches. I think he catches like 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, 300 yards, somewhere in there. Because he's a receiving back too. Yeah.
But I'm going to have to go with David Montgomery as my running back 1.
Okay.
Chicago's running back. They just lost Jordan Howard. He went to the Eagles. And, Tariq Cohen, he's a good running back, but he's not going to give you that 100-yard rushing game or anything like that. But this guy, David Montgomery, will definitely have an opportunity to do that. In college, these past 2 seasons, he rushed for over 1,400 yards.
Both seasons.
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah.
So not a real speedy guy, but ground and pound, and there's always a market for those guys in the NFL. I think David Montgomery has a ton of success just from seeing how he did at Iowa State. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I really like David Montgomery fitting into the Chicago Bears. What did I say? Pears? Anyway, David Montgomery, great fit. Keep an eye on him for, if you need a late running back in your fantasy draft.
Yeah. I also had him as my running back 2.
Yeah, we just pretty much flip-flopped.
Yeah, behind Josh Jacobs. I think him and Tariq Cohen kind of complement each other very well. I think Tariq's more of the check-down guy, and if I had to compare David Montgomery to a running back, I would, after watching his film and listening to some people talk about him, I would compare him to Barry Sanders. He's that, if there's anybody that's not like that, that's going to make people miss. If there's anybody that's going to make people miss, and he's going to, I don't know, he's very elusive. He's very elusive. He's quick, but he's also big. And that's where I'm kind of getting the Barry Sanders.
Okay, so not Barry Sanders' speed, but more of his ability to be agile.
Yeah,
his agility.
Yeah. I think his size too.
Okay. Yeah, because Le'Veon Bell, he's pretty damn fast, but how he waits at the line. He's patient.
Yes, Montgomery's also patient.
Okay, so sort of like that. That's what you're kind of getting at. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's gonna be Barry Sanders.
No, just some of the quality. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the traits that I see in him is Barry Sanders-ish.
Interesting. Okay. So we pretty much just covered the running backs. How about I start with N'Keal Harry as my receiver 1.
Good pick.
Gronk leaves. He was a huge, not last season, but in years past, he was a huge receiving target, him and Julian Edelman. And honestly, I think N'Keal Harry is an attempt to replace Gronk. He's got the size. He's not real fast, but neither was Gronk. He's a receiver, so it's a little bit different. He's not blocking at the line. But I see a lot of the same qualities in N'Keal Harry as Gronk. And, with a quarterback like Tom Brady, not having the deep balls anymore, he threw a ton to Gronk, 15-yard passes, 20-yard passes.
And he's got those
had
quick guys.
Had a ton of success with that, too. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah, he's got the quick guys. He doesn't have that go up and get it receiver anymore, really.
But at the same time, Brady's losing that deep ball. So having, the 20-yard passes to...
Yeah, 20, 30-yard passes, and he just chucks it into Nikhil's vicinity, and he can come down with it. He's good at that. But I'm not too high on the Pac-12. You're either a stud or you're not. So we'll kind of see how, looking at history. Yeah, looking at history coming out of the Pac-12, just at certain players, obviously Gronk panned out, but
Gronk is something else.
He's first ballot Hall of Fame.
For sure.
Yeah.
Greatest tight end ever? At least, got Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah. And he was doing it before throwing to tight ends was really a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would even put fucking John Mackey up there.
Yeah, maybe. Well before
our time, but he was amazing.
Yeah.
That whole team was amazing, but yeah.
Travis Kelce right now, he's getting it done. Looks amazing. I don't know if he's...
Kelce also is really good. Ertz has a lot of potential.
Yeah, so that's all I got to say on N'Keal Harry.
What do you think he does? Yards-wise
statistically.
and when to look for him in the draft.
See, you got Edelman in there, who's still got some gas in the tank. Toughest receiver ever, in my opinion. James White, he's going to get a lot of those touches. Sony Michel had a great season last year. He's going to get some touches.
They just got another running back in the draft.
Got Rex Burkhead. That's a tough question. I don't think he has a star-studded year. I would look out for him in the 13, 14 rounds.
Really?
If you're just looking for
a deep bench kind of spot.
Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of success in the rookie receivers this year, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm going to put him in a solid 12th round pick for 500-yard season.
That's not bad.
3 touchdowns.
Okay, all right. I think he's going to be a big red zone threat.
Yeah.
I really do wish LaFell kind of panned out for the Patriots because I think he would have been pretty good there because he was that big physical receiver that I think that
True.
N'Keal Harry's kind of like that.
That's interesting. Yeah, not much else to say on that one. What about you? Who's your receiver one?
I kind of had to pick this guy because he's my boy, Deebo Samuel.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, 49ers took him round 2, pick 36. I think he could have been a first-rounder, but we passed on him. Unfortunately, we're not the Baltimore Gamecocks. We just got Hayden Hurst. But, yeah, he's from South Carolina, and in all seriousness, I think he's going to be a wide receiver 1 in the 49ers offense.
Okay.
Because Marquise Goodwin just didn't do it for me last year, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's hit or miss.
Yeah.
He's good, but hit or miss.
Because he was very, people were praising him real early, and I took him in the fantasy draft, I believe. And I just couldn't start him every week. He wasn't that guy that was really producing, and I think Deebo's actually gonna produce. I think he's one of the more promising receivers in this draft. And then people criticize him because of his size. He's 5'10", but he doesn't play like his size at all. And he's fast. He has great routes. He has better hands. He does not drop balls, and he's a big physical dude. He's pretty beefy. He's 210 pounds, 5'10", and he's fast. If I had to compare him, I'd probably say I see qualities like Steve Smith.
Okay, interesting.
Mainly because of the size, and he's tough. Doesn't talk shit like Steve Smith did, but.
Nobody could talk shit
no,
like
dude, Steve Smith was great. I miss him so much. And, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, good for Deebo. Goodwin's coming off a lackluster year, let's be real. And if Jimmy G comes back and he's healthy, and McKinnon, too. They have McKinnon, so if he gets healthy and he's what they're paying him, he's worth what they're paying him, that's going to be a good offense, but they also have invested a lot of time into their offensive line. They got Mike McGlinchey, Joe Staley. But, yeah, I say he goes for 900 yards and 5 touchdowns. Yeah, and then I think he returns 2 kicks for touchdowns.
Okay.
I think he played returner at South Carolina, and he got injured his junior year. He broke his leg, but he had 5 touchdowns in 2 weeks, and he returned to first play of the game. He returned a kick for a touchdown. Week 1, week 2, he did the same thing, returned a kick for a touchdown, and he also caught 2 touchdowns in there too. Well, he caught 3 touchdowns, and then he broke his leg catching a touchdown, which is unfortunate. But in 3 games, 3 games he had 5 touchdowns, and he had to leave that game early because he broke his leg.
Gotcha.
I think he's gonna be great, and I'd say look for him around like.
But really, you're wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Over Hollywood, over Keel Harry.
Yep. Deebo Samuel. Think he fits in well with that offense.
All right.
And then I'd say probably look for him.
Keep in mind George Kittle, man. That dude had debatably the best.
He's gonna be good. He's gonna be a safety blanket. I feel like.
I think he's gonna be more of a playmaker. I mean, a safety blanket too. But, and now with Jimmy Garoppolo, he had nobody's throwing to him last year.
Yeah. Did he have a 1,000-yard season?
If not, he was close.
Yeah, he was definitely close. He's
George
another
Kittle,
one that shows promise when we're talking about tight ends.
Yeah.
He's another one. He used to play wide receiver in college.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, he's good. But I'd say look for Deebo in probably like 8th or 9th round, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Maybe a little later than that.
Well, I mean,
if you're going deep on receivers, then you could probably snack him later. Yeah. I'd also compare him to DJ Moore for the Carolina Panthers. I think they're kind of similar.
Okay. Be interesting to see how he does. So let me get to my receiver 2.
Okay.
I picked kind of a typical pick, but took Hollywood Brown. In other words, Marquise Brown. Yeah, having Kyler Murray at Oklahoma, he's used to a mobile quarterback. And, like we said earlier, they're going to tailor this offense to Lamar. Lamar's got a taste of the game. He's not new to it anymore. And I think, Hollywood gets a lot of touches. Probably the most touches out of any Baltimore receiver.
Yeah.
Willie Snead is not really a playmaker. Maybe when he had Drew Brees, he had, some games here and there. But those days are over for Willie Snead. Hate to break it to any Willie Snead fans out there.
There's a lot of them, dude. There's a lot of Willie Snead fans out there.
And Seth Roberts fans. Can't forget them, man.
God.
Apologies.
Jesus.
My apologies.
Don't forget Michael Floyd.
Hey,
Does he even make the team?
No.
I wish I let you finish what you were saying because he's not making the team. He's not going to make the team. He's going to get cut.
I like that dude, man.
I like Michael Floyd.
I got to be objective. He doesn't make it.
No.
Got to be objective.
No way.
Anyway. Hollywood Brown. I think he clicks with Lamar Jackson. I think he stays healthy. A lot of people are worried about the injuries. And, I think all around that was probably the best Ravens draft I've seen in a while. Ozzie Newsome, he was great at picking defense.
Better than last year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think because it was an all-around good draft.
Yeah. Not having a second-round pick
every year with Ozzie,
hurt us.
Every year with Ozzie, it's defense heavy, offensive line heavy, and that's important stuff. Don't
Defense
get me
wins
wrong.
championships, man.
Brother, the best receiver we've ever drafted is Tory Smith.
That's embarrassing.
That is horseshit.
That's embarrassing.
That is terrible. That is sad. That's probably worse than the NFL. I mean, our best
like we were talking about earlier, we're good at going out and getting the guys with a little bit of gas left in the tank.
And if we never had that, then I don't know what our franchise is offensively.
Dude, Baltimore is so defense, though. We've always been defense.
And that's the thing, man. You don't draft a whole lot of offensive studs, but we've had a badass defense since '96. Actually, no, 15 we kind of sucked. Our second.
Yeah.
And 14 a little bit. But
that's aside from the point. That's aside from the point. We've had a killer defense.
Minor hiccup in a long
streak.
Yes, of great defenses. Anyway, back to Hollywood. I just really got a good gut feeling about this. I think he's a speed demon, and I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of on the field stuff. I mean, clearly he's fast as hell, but I'm going with my gut on this one. And I feel like the Ravens figure out their offense. Lamar starts throwing more. I mean, we keep the run very heavy with Mark Ingram and Gus Bus.
As per usual.
But I feel like Marquise Brown in an offense where he's probably the best receiver right now, I think he finds a way early, gets a lot of touches.
Yeah. I also had Marquise Brown as my wide receiver two, not my. Oh wait, yeah, that was your wide receiver too. Yeah, I also had Marquise as my wide receiver too, and you pretty much hit the nail on the head there. I think he kind of like comes in and he clicks with Lamar almost immediately, and we have seen like this kind of injury before in Brashad Perriman. I hate to like even bring that up, but he's got kind of like the same thing. I just really hope that he had a screw put in his foot. I really hope that injury doesn't linger and bothers him, but we needed a playmaker. Bottom line, we needed a playmaker. We needed a dude that can do something in an open field because we don't really have that. We haven't had that for a long time.
And like, God forbid, he doesn't pan out. Like, looking at it from DeCosta's point of view, like, that's a great pick.
Yeah.
Like, from his performance in college, I mean, he seems like a good kid off the field, not really getting in trouble or anything.
He's got a big personality. That's why they call him Hollywood.
Yeah, and big personality, and you're not getting in trouble. That's
great.
That's awesome. But, you know, I agree with you. I think he will pan out. I think, pretty much everything I said.
He really opens the field up, too, which a lot of people need to understand is when you bring in a guy with that kind of speed and that kind of playmaking ability, people are going to stick him. Mm-hmm. People are going to make sure that he's not getting the ball. I mean, he will get the ball, but that's what they're going to cater to Lamar and Marquise Brown. So it's going to open up Mark Ingram, Gus Bus. They're going to be good. And then we got Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews. Like we have a lot of talent on offense right now that I think people are overlooking. And our line's not bad. Our line needs to stay healthy, but our line's not bad. I think Marquise Brown really does pan out, and they start clicking immediately, and he's doing well by week 4 or 5. So I guess all in all to say he needs to stay healthy. If that injury lingers, that's going to be a long-term problem for us as Ravens fans and for him from a health standpoint. But I think he catches that's pretty bold, but I think he goes for 800 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Wow. I really hope you're right there, pal.
I think he's getting the ball a lot in this offense. I think he's touching it at least 5 to 10 times a game. We're gonna start doing some
10.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing some weird shit. We're gonna have him coming through the backfield and shit, throwing him tosses. He's gonna throw the ball. This kid's gonna do it all, dude. I'd say look for him in the late rounds too, like around where I said Debo was gonna go, probably 9 or 10, somewhere in there. Pay attention to his health status though.
With the running backs we have, the tight ends we have, you think he gets up to 10 touches a game?
I said 5 to 10.
5 to 10, but up to 10.
5 to 10, up to 10. Up to 10. He could touch the ball 10 times in a game.
Maybe in we're going back and forth with Pittsburgh and it's the highest scoring game. Or doesn't have to be Pittsburgh, but some 30 to 30 game.
Yeah, I'm not saying he gets 5 to 10 receptions a game. I'm saying he touches the ball. And he's the playmaker that I was talking about.
Like targets.
Well, targets and I could see him running the ball.
Okay.
I think the main reason we bought this kid in is because, to reiterate it, he is a playmaker. You want to put the ball in your playmaker's hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he can do shit in open field. He's really good at that. And, I'm just excited because he runs 5-yard drag routes and turns it into 50-plus yard touchdowns. And that's gonna bode very well for Lamar because we don't know how his deep ball is turning out, as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, right.
We don't know how that's going to go. Who do you have for your tight end?
I liked Noah Fant.
That's a good pick.
With Joe Flacco. Jake Butt, he's a good tight end that they had last year they drafted, but guy kept getting hurt, couldn't really stay healthy. And, even if Jake Butt stays healthy, you got him and Noah Fant. Joe Flacco loves his tight ends.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, an obvious pick, but... Joe Flacco's a pretty obvious guy, as we know.
He's not very behind the scenes. He's out. He's out in the open. This dude's monotone. Just there to play football and do what he loves.
I love it.
He's so boring, dude. He's so. I love having Lamar now because we get a personality. It's not. Joe Flacco's like a plain Tostitos chip.
Dude, just sitting there munching on it.
Dude, he just. There's no flavor. There's nothing. It's just.
Oh, come on! He would give the tiger fist.
That's the salt.
about it.
That's the salt on the chip. It's not just a piece of
salt.
fried potato. That's the flavor is the salt.
The fist pump.
Yeah, dude. It's like Tiger. Woohoo.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good pick. I like Noah Fant.
Yeah, not much else to say on that one.
What do you think he does? Yards wise, touchdowns, where you get him?
I'm gonna say 305 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I
think Jake Butt ends up getting
hurt again.
As much as I don't wish that upon anyone.
And it's not like that dude gets like major injuries. He just struggles all season. And what it's different when you like tear an ACL and you come back. You can players generally can get back to their old form. Not as good, I should say, but when you have lingering injuries like that, that's really hard to like we saw that with Michael Campanaro.
Yeah.
He never like tore an ACL, hamstring.
That was such a shame, dude.
I know.
I love that guy.
He had promised, but he never tore anything. He never broke anything. Like he was always just out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
For entire seasons.
Lose him like week 2. Oh, he gets a touchdown. Oh, he's hurt.
Yeah. I don't understand that, but no, Fant, where are you getting him in the draft?
I'm not. Nah, just kidding. Look for him.
You're gonna let him sit in the
dude, rookie tight ends
in the free agents.
Rookie tight ends.
I know, dude.
Maybe 14th or 15th round.
It's funny you say that you're not getting him.
Although
because my guy, you can also hold off on. You can definitely get him on the waiver wire.
All right, this is just like, if I'm giving you advice, yes, like 14, 13, late pick. But, a guy like me, I want to get my, Zach Ertz.
Travis Kelce.
Or Travis Kelce. Get them early because nobody wants to fucking deal with tight ends mid-season.
Tight ends will fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Tight ends will bend you over and put it in your ass. Dude, it's bad.
I can't wait for my mom to hear this part.
All right, so my guy is Josh Oliver.
Josh Oliver. Tell me more about Josh Oliver.
I think he comes in and makes an immediate impact with the Jacksonville fucking Jaguars.
Nick Foles, I can see him.
Nick Foles
hugging a tight end.
All right. Let me finish. He's from San Jose State. Okay, he led all tight ends in the FBS in receptions. Pretty interesting, right?
Yeah. Fun fact.
I was watching his tape today, and dude's fast. He's got good hands. I know how much Nick Foles likes to underthrow and overthrow his receivers, and I was watching it. He can grab it from pretty much anywhere in his vicinity. And he's 6'5". He's a big dude. He's not the best at run blocking, but I mean, when you got Leonard Fournette and the dude's getting hauled out in an ambulance every other week, like
that's not funny.
It's not, but it's terrible because he's such a great player. But and they brought in Big Dick Nick, so they need a Mr. Hands like receptions kind of guy in a tight end, and they haven't had that in a while. Like Mercedes Lewis that dude's a dump truck. Like
pretty inconsistent.
Yeah, inconsistent, and he's just a fat fucking tight end. Like, you ever seen this dude? He puts on a jersey and you can just see the outline of his belly button. Like, he's a big dude.
Kind of a Eddie Lacy situation is what you're saying.
Oh, God, dude. I was so glad the Ravens didn't sign him when he came in. They said he looked great. I was like, no, he didn't. That dude stops and eats 4 Big Macs on his way home from training. That dude's always been a refrigerator. He was great at Alabama. Don't get me wrong. And he was good for the Packers for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, he had his run.
Yeah. His
two
season
Eddie Lacy
run.
situation, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, beside the point, your guy, gonna be good.
Yeah, Oliver will be good.
Let's not get too far off track.
I think he gets probably like 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, or maybe. maybe somewhere in there. They don't have the best receivers either.
No, not really.
I mean, when you got Marquise Lee getting arrested, who is that one guy?
You got D.D. Westbrook, who's not great.
Do you remember Justin Blackman?
I knew you were going to bring him up. Very forgettable career, very memorable.
Very memorable guy.
Off the field. What, 4 DUIs or something?
Yeah, he's been arrested like 7 times. Probably has like 3 fucking kids or something. It's probably like a Chris McAllister type situation. Living in his parents' basement, drives a Lamborghini. He needs to watch the show Ballers, really understand what goes on. But yeah, I think somewhere in that area, 400 yards.
Okay.
4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. I don't know, somewhere in there. And you don't draft him. You don't draft. Nick was saying it earlier. You don't draft rookie tight ends. That's just waiting to get bent over. You'll be disappointed.
All right, stop talking about getting bent over, damn it.
You'll be pretty disappointed. Yeah, don't draft him.
I also feel like our defensive category is pretty useless.
Well, dude, apparently people play with defensive players.
But we're giving them one, like...
I mean, dude, I only wanted to do this because I wanted to say that how these players are going to impact their team right off the bat. I had no intention of...
Okay, so
of telling these people who to get for defense. You don't draft defensive players. You don't even play in that league. If you play in that league, you're borderline psychopath.
PSA. Don't do that.
Yes, do not play in a league where you draft defensive players. That is so stupid. You draft a whole defense. You don't... Like,
yeah, we can go on and on. We can go on and on.
Do you draft... Like, how does it work? How many defensive players you get? You get 3, 4? Do you draft a whole defense?
11?
Yeah, 11? You can make some pretty solid defenses with that.
That's boring as fuck.
Dude, tragic. It's tragic. All right, so yeah, let's do this for the fucking weirdo guys that play.
Who you got?
It's probably office fantasy teams. People probably play defense. It's like, oh yeah, let's get a fantasy league together. Play defensive players. Fucking idiots.
Just like that.
All right, yeah. I wanted to go with Devin Bush.
Then go with Devin Bush.
I'm not going with Devin Bush. I'm going with Ravens 3rd round draft pick, Jalen Ferguson.
Best defensive player in the draft.
Yes. Sack daddy.
All right, lay it on me.
So,
lay it on me, sack daddy.
You want me to lay my sack on you?
All right, we're getting reckless here.
Sorry. But
partially my fault too.
Yeah, we've been here for a while. We're about ready to cut this one out. But I'd say Jalen Ferguson. We drafted him out of Louisiana Tech, and he had 45 sacks in his career there, and he broke the record previously held by Terrell Suggs. So I think that he comes in and he makes an immediate impact because we lost players like Zadarius Smith.
Yep.
We lost Suggs. We lost Mosley. I think he fits in well with our defense. And I think him and Judon are going to do pretty well together. He doesn't really need to do run contain. And Jalen Ferguson's fast. He's going to get to the quarterback, which is what we need. We need pressure. And that causes interceptions, obviously. So, I mean, sack daddy. I mean, he's a 3rd round pick. So a lot of teams obviously passed on him twice, which I found kind of concerning, but he still broke the FBS record for sacks in a career.
Yeah, that's definitely worth talking about.
It's impressive, and
I still don't believe that this guy is your number one.
Yeah, I think
you're just saying that because he's on the Ravens.
No, yes, but no. We lost a lot of key players.
Come on, keep it real.
I'm saying he's gonna come in and make an immediate impact on this team. He has the platform to be great. He's going to come in and start day one. Who are we going to put out there? You going to put Justin Tucker on the edge? We don't have depth at outside linebacker anymore.
But just as far as skill and the best right now. I mean, he's got a great opportunity. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah, but I'm saying fantasy and impacting their team.
Oh, yeah, back to the weirdos.
Yeah, this is for the weirdos. But I say... All right, I got a pretty weird stat line for this dude.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so I say he gets 40 tackles. 40 tackles.
40 tackles, all right.
14 for loss. 8.5 sacks.
8.5 sacks.
I think he balls out, dude. It's bold. It's a bold take. It's a bold take.
Take your take and punt it.
Shut up. I made a bold take with Saquon. And that paid off. So we're going to see if this one pays off. And if this one pays off, I'm getting paid by ESPN. I am. I'm going to go work for them. And I think he has 2 fumble recoveries.
All right, you do that, bro.
You'll see. You'll fucking see.
I can't wait.
Yeah. If you weirdos are drafting him, I don't know how long your defensive drafts last.
They're not fucking drafting this guy.
Yeah, don't even play in this league. I don't even know why people do this.
Should I skip my guy?
No. You got to die game one. You got to give your fucking guy.
All right. Josh Allen.
Yeah, great pick.
Dude is, I don't know how to say it. He's an animal. Every sense of the word. Speed off the edge. I love speed in every position. I don't care what position you play. Dude is so fast off the edge. He's so quick with his hands. And going to a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are still a good defense.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, as shitty of a year as they had last year.
Yeah.
They still got Boye, Ramsey.
Ngakwe.
Yeah, I mean, it goes on. That's a badass defense that just added a great pass rusher.
Yeah, their defensive line is good.
If you haven't seen Josh Allen's highlights, I encourage you to look them up. It's some vicious shit.
Yeah.
Parental advisory.
South Carolina had to play him when he went to Kentucky.
Yeah.
And that wasn't fun. He just getting to watch him play in person was awesome, but from a Gamecocks fan standpoint, it sucked. So this dude is so quick off the line.
Yeah.
So fast. He can just get around tackles. Like, he can run around them. He's so fast. He does have really good hands.
Yeah.
He's great at getting around him. He did this. I remember watching him. He did this swim move on this guy, and he didn't even touch him. He just fell down. The tackle just fell down, and he's got great footwork. Puts work in the trenches. He did his time. I think like you were saying, he comes in and he starts immediately. He makes an immediate impact for the Jaguars defense.
Oh yeah,
and he's getting decent amount of sacks too. So for all these weirdos, what kind of stat line you giving them?
23 tackles, 3 sacks. I'm going to say 1 interception.
Ooh.
And a fumble recovery.
Okay. So 2 turnovers for this guy.
Yeah.
Got it.
He's a hungry player. He's going to fight for everything. Honestly, probably the most confident player. Like I have the most confidence in him out of anyone in this draft.
Okay. I would honestly have to agree with you on that.
And yet he's not your number one?
No.
All right. Anything else you got to say about to the weirdos or for any of our picks in general?
Stop playing in that league. Stop doing that.
Obviously, if we haven't gotten that across yet.
Stop doing that. I don't think that anybody should enjoy that. And if you do, I don't even know what to say to you because you're a piece of shit. If you play defensive players...
All right, let's get off that.
Yeah,
anything else?
It just makes me mad. No, we can stop. I'm mad now.
All right, that about wraps it up for today's show. I want to thank you all for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Kev, I want to thank you for coming on.
Wait. Before we go, I got a question for you. I saw this question. It's a hypothetical.
All right.
It's a hypothetical. Would you rather throw up every time somebody says the word McDonald's, or would you rather wear a fedora for life?
What? Wow. That's a tough-ass question, my man. The hell? Fedoras suck.
Could you imagine walking around with a fucking fedora on?
Even the name is just garbage. But, I mean, I gotta go with the fedora, dude.
Oh, dude, really?
Like, hanging around David or, like, you, like, saying McDonald's. Or, like, as
dude,
soon as the word gets out.
Yeah, if somebody knew that you
dude,
did
you're
that.
Gonna, like, destroy
McDonald's.
Yeah, you just
fucking
can't live like
projectile
that. No.
Yeah,
You gotta go fedora.
I think I'd go with the fedora. I actually had McDonald's for
And
breakfast.
you never said... No, never mind.
What?
Where I could wear it.
You have to
Has
wear
to be
it.
on your head.
Has to be on your head for the rest of your life. Like, you gotta sleep with this fucking fedora on.
I can make it look pimp somehow.
Cannot make a fedora look pimp.
All right, yeah, I gotta go fedora.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Gonna be more random. Jesus Christ.